Anti-racism is the path to liberty for you. The motivation for you to stop believing in race and to stop being a racist is your own self-interest. You see, 500 years ago, wealthy European aristocrats needed a way to convince their lower classes that the quickly growing African slave trade was not only morally acceptable, but would also be a benefit to this lower class. So the aristocrats invented race, racism, and racial hierarchy, with the first entrants a white race and a Negro slave race. The new racial hierarchy worked like a charm. The lowest class Europeans, now whites, would have a perpetual claim to superiority over African Negro slaves. Sure, the lowest class whites, which made up the large majority of Europe's population, barely had a subsistence existence. But no matter how bad they had it, at least they were above the black slave. This made the exploitation and oppression of the whites super easy for the aristocracy, while extending abject horror and torture onto the chattel Negro slaves. Most importantly to the aristocrats, they now had sources of cheap labor, and even cheaper labor that would last forever. Get this, the cheap labor would not complain, and the cheaper labor could not complain. Anyone who cared to see understood all along that this whole race concept existed as a total fiction, that no superiority or inferiority or hierarchy existed between the so-called races, and that in fact all of these people were equally human. Now, recognizing this almost universally meant not doing anything about it. What was perfected as white against black racism became a tool to create racial hierarchy wherever the Western powers conquered during the colonial period. This is the world we live in today, 500 years on. The fake ideas of race and racial hierarchy play out every day in the USA as real racism. The effects are also the same. People of European descent revel in their own exploitation and oppression by their upper class masters because of a false belief they benefit from a system that actually keeps them down. Blacks and other minorities deal with indignities being treated as less than a full human, leading to a lifetime of undeserved mental, and too often physical, horror and torture. Americans of European descent, now is the time to step up and be a loud, unapologetic anti-racist. This is not the work of black people or other minorities to perform. People of European descent must change our culture to remove, completely dismantle the ideas of race, racism, and hierarchy that keep all working people down. Why should you be an individual anti-racist? Because it'll personally benefit you. That others in society will benefit is secondary. Destroy race, racism, and racial hierarchy so that you can be free, so that you can enjoy all the good of your humanity, so that you can throw off your oppressors and enjoy true liberty. You want your own mind to expand? Stop believing in race. You want your heart to have more love? Stop believing in race. You want your wallet to grow? Stop believing in race. How do you become an anti-racist and start enjoying the benefits? Well, fully commit to erasing the idea of race from your mind. Believe the obvious truth that is directly in front of you, that each of us is fully human and that there is no hierarchy. There are no types of people to put above you or below you. There are only people like you trying to lead their life to the best of their ability. I'm not suggesting you're going to hear me right now and suddenly be anti-racist. I am suggesting that you want to start to do the work to train your mind on how racism holds you back. I am suggesting you train your mind to see everyone as individuals. With enough training, you will get there. Race, racism, and racial hierarchy do not occur overnight, did not occur overnight. So we should not expect it to disappear overnight. Just like it took many generations 500 years ago to instill racism in society, we should assume it'll take many generations to completely dismantle racism in society. That we might not see the results even in our own lifetime does not stop us from starting the work now. Who knows? Maybe we will get lucky and the world will wake up with us. Anti-racism is pro-human. Anti-racism is pro you. No fear, only love.